I've been a football fan for many years, and about 3 years ago when Junior Seau shot himself in the chest, this was a player who played for the San Diego Chargers, beloved player, was known as just being the most gentle person off the field, great philanthropist, very loving father, big community leader. And when he killed himself, it seemed like it was a fulcrum in the game itself. It just seemed like everything was going to change. And I run a company called American Records, and American Records' mission is to make work that chronicles our time, work that serves as a bridge between people. And I've done a lot of plays about a lot of different subjects, so when this happened to Junior Seau, I thought this would be a good time to capture what's going on in American football today. Because whatever happens after this point, I think that all of the things that we learned about concussion and subconcussive hits are going to change the game. I mean, they already are changing the game with changes in rules and helmet technology and all of that. And as a fan, I was in this place where I feel like now that I know what I know about the personal sacrifices that it takes to play the game, how do I either double down as a fan and really support the game and understand that I am an active participant in this, or how do I come to terms with all of my conflicted feelings about it? I love it. It's the best sport in the world. It's the greatest narrative. It's compelling, and it's all of human nature, and it's a representation of battle in every game. But on a personal level, these players go through such an extraordinary crucible when they play, which I find really compelling too. It's just, I love anything where people have to do extraordinary things. So I just thought it was a great subject, and I wanted to bring it to the stage.
Well, in some of the things the actors say, kind of indicate to me like this is slavery from a different point of view.
Oh, interesting. A different kind of...
A different kind of slavery, a modern day slavery, because you touch on the point of the poor are the ones who have to get into the NFL because they need to.
Right. Well, that's one person I interview's perspective.
Okay.
My goal is along the lines of a journalist, which is my job is to present as many opinions as possible and let the audience decide for themselves. And it's interesting that that's the conclusion that you've come to. But you are absolutely right. One character says, you know, it's going to be about class and poverty, and the only people that will be playing the game in 10 years are those that really need it.
Right.
That it's a different kind of subjugation. Yeah. It's a very there's a extraordinary cultural anthropologist, sociologist, and he also works for the San Francisco 49ers, a man named Dr. Harry Reid, who writes a great deal on this subject.
Mm-hmm. So you're leaving it up to us to decide what to do about the game?
Yeah.
Really? What can we do?
You can stop watching. You can stop putting your dollars into it. You can write your mayors and say don't use city taxpayers' dollars.
That's almost like saying don't eat hamburgers.
Right.
Is that possible?
Literally, it is.
Yeah. Now, as a fan, where are you on this whole question of the CTEs and the Alzheimer's diseases and all the things that come?
Yeah, I still love watching the game. I still follow it, but I don't watch college football anymore. Yeah. Because I just think the balance of power there is absurd. Mm-hmm. The fact that coaches are the highest paid government officials in every state, and the players are not getting funding, and I mean it's just a gross imbalance of resources and power. But I still watch because I mean now that we know what we know, mm-hmm. there's no player that's on the field that doesn't understand what the risks are.
Mm-hmm. So as a woman of color with this play, mm-hmm. what kind of reaction have you been having?
I'm not sure what you mean. I don't know if I've gotten a different reaction as a woman of color.
Because of the fact that you are a woman of color, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're writing about something that you have touched on, the thing that the minority race is in charge of the NFL. and they're recruiting people from the high school. And the kids get this sense of need to be part of, and most of them are of the minority race as well. So I was just wondering whether the people who pay these millions of dollars like what you're doing.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, is the question whether the NFL knows that we exist and whether they...
Well, whether it's been out, so I'm assuming that you've had reaction.
We premiered in California in Berkeley,
right.
and it ran for 6 weeks there. And they know certain individuals who work for teams are aware that we exist.
Right.
But I think what the really great thing is no one has shut us down.
Okay.
No one has even dared to suggest we change anything in the play. This is what's so interesting, because you remember the big hacker leak where all of those emails were released. Well, a lot of the emails that you can find online are between Sony, the studio, and the NFL about this film that's coming up, Concussions. And you can read back and forth them reading the script and giving suggestions and say this, don't say that. No one has had any influence on what I put in this play. The only person who's had it, the two people have had influence on what I put in this play, my collaborator, Jenny Mercine, and the director, Tony Taccone. He's pushed me to expand the lens and make it a bigger play than I thought at first I wanted to make it, to really look at the history of the game. But anyone else who would have anything to say about what it goes in or goes out of the play, I wouldn't stand for it.
I was wondering about the reaction from the NFL, the executives. Have they said anything?
Nope.
Okay. So you're on a free ride right now.
On a free ride? I guess so.
Let me congratulate you.
Thank you.